A motion by Helmut.
Welcome to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we're here to talk about what goes on in the village, the township, and all those people that make regulations and laws out there that affect you.
That's right, Elgin. And whether you live in the village of Oxford, the village of Leonard, Addison Township, or Oxford Township, these are the people that you went and elected, and the commissions and the committees that make decisions that directly affect you, whether you chose to go to that meeting or not. And the result could be a taxing
Situation.
That's right.
Very much so. And we said there's humor in every meeting. It either bubbles to the top or sinks to the bottom. Right?
Yeah, but we go for the cream.
We do. And also, you'll notice that the minutes by minute is quite a bit abbreviated compared to what the meetings are. They can run on for, hour, 2 hours, a couple days.
No. I've been on a 3-hour one, but
Right.
that's quite unusual, but they do last a lot longer than what we're going to tell you about.
Yes.
In any event, if you do want to see that in excruciating detail, you can go to OCCTV.org, click on Programs, and there's also a drop-down menu where you can pick that particular area that you want to tunnel down into, and you can, get a bag of chips, a beer, and sit back and watch this thing for about 2 hours.
That's about what it'll take in most cases, yes. The other thing I want to mention here is that one of us spreads rumors, and so you want to watch the detail very close because one of us, may want to, tweak things a little bit. It's hard
What
to
do
say.
you mean? Is that like the half-truths you tell?
Well, yeah, right. Well, everybody knows that you're the tweaker. So let's tweak on, shall we? We'll do that with the minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
First, we're going to try to hit 3 meetings today. One is the Addison Township Board meeting held on October 21st. The second one is the Polygon Trail meeting, which was held on October 16th. And the last one would be the Oxford Village DDA meeting held on October 21st. So we're going to kind of skip around a little bit, and we'll start with the Addison Township Board meeting on October 21st. Bruce Pearson is the chair for that particular position, who was also the township supervisor. Pauline Bennett, who's the clerk, was on that board, and Lori Fisher, the treasurer. Jacob Newby, the newest guy, although he's starting to become one of the older guys now. He's been there for a couple of years, I think.
Yeah, it does age you.
Yeah, it does, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to say. He came in with a white beard and long white hair. Didn't start out that way a couple of years ago. But Joel King is on that board.
Starting to call people whippersnappers.
Whippersnappers, yeah, right. And starting to get help crossing the street for little Boy Scouts. It's working out pretty well for Jacob. But Linda Garrick, she serves on this board also, and Eric Sent, who, by the way, serves also on the Polygon Trail, as does Bruce Pearson. And they're very active with the trail. If you folks get a chance, go down Polygon Trail and check it out for yourself. Give us feedback on it. I'm pretty sure that you're going to be happy with it. Most people are. But if there's anything you'd like to see changed, contact Linda Moran, who's the trail manager, okay, for the Polygon Trail.
She's a very good one.
Yes, she is.
And the
Very
Polygon
active.
Trail goes for a long way, folks. Well, even though it goes further, it goes all the way from Leonard all the way to Lake Orion.
All the way.
And then by the use of a safety path, you can hook yourself up to the Paint Creek Trail
And then
end up in Rochester.
you can do that, or who knows. But there's signage out there, so you can find your way
Wherever
back.
your little legs will carry you.
You take the bread and just drop a little crumb here and there so you can find your way back. It's quite a distance, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
But okay, so they did the preliminaries, the Pledge of Allegiance, and let me see, yes, young newbie, he did the prayer, and he said, please help us, okay.
Oh, please.
As he usually does. And good job. And announcements, no announcements. Department reports, none. Financial report was received and filed. Look how quickly we're going through this one, huh?
Our summary could be as long as the regular meeting.
Hey, who knows what'll happen here. Okay, petitions, none. We continue in the mode that we're in right now. Order of business was approved by a roll call vote, and the agenda was approved for October 21st, so they could go forward with it. The consent agenda, consisting of September 16th, 2019 minutes. The bills for September 2019 was within that group. And resolution proclamation to celebrate 200th birthday of the Oakland County. And they're going to plant a tree, most of these townships, municipalities. So you folks are going to see a new tree spring. Might be a little short one to start with, but it's got to be an oak.
I was going to say.
Oak tree. And let me see, the actual 200th birthday is in March, and it's March 28th.
What was it before that?
2020. Before that was 100th, and I don't remember that one. Do you?
No. I mean,
No.
I mean, 200 years ago would be what? 1800s, 1700s?
Yes,
And this was a territory probably at the time?
probably.
But only when we became a state did we have counties, or we have counties before that?
Yes.
And there it starts, folks. All those rumors.
Okay. Well, at least the beginning of a rumor, perhaps. I don't know, but
Or we call it revisionist history.
yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, good.
Charter franchise. Yeah, the charter communications franchise. Fees that were discussed, and also the PEG fees.
Okay.
And they get 5% of the franchise fees given to their township.
Right. Some of which is redistributed.
Right, I was going to say be distributed. You probably have a new word for that. Kick to the curb.
Kick to the curb. Shared. How's that? Shared.
And if you're on the curb, it's mine, give me a chance, right? Okay. So anyway,
Well, what about the PEG fees?
Well, the PEG fees, 2%, but they don't get to keep any of those fees. But however, Bruce Pearson, supervisor, said that he would pursue, along with the rest of the communities, in exercising their ability to get the PEG fees at 2%.
Good for Bruce.
And that's quite a question coming up. They want to eliminate the PEG fees.
Who
And
does?
Everybody wants. I mean,
Well,
the powers to be in Lansing, I guess. And Charter, of course, has led the charge for that.
Well, not so much
Charter,
PEG fees as franchise fees.
Franchise fees also is another issue.
Yeah,
down the line.
franchise fees are, because of new laws that have been passed, are becoming very vulnerable and
Right.
could show up as highly reduced.
But since Addison never ever collected PEG fees, that's a major.
That's a major impediment.
It is, because it appears as though the way it's written is that if you've not collected them, you don't have them coming. If you have collected them, then you'll continue to receive them.
Well, you can still justify getting them, except Charter has provided a number of hoops that you have to jump through.
Valleys and major hoops. Yeah, I think we had to put together a major inventory list for them to start with.
Too bad we weren't grandfathered in, but
Yeah.
we aren't.
What happened to grandfather anyway? Where'd he go? Need to drag his keister back.
I think he took a plane to Cuba.
I think he did too. Talking about planes to Cuba. We'll talk about that when we come back, folks, right after this.
If you're interested in sponsoring a show for OCTV, please give us a call at 248-628-9658 and we'll air a promotional video for your local business.
Welcome back to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we were talking about Addison Township Board meeting that they had last week. And we're talking about PEG fees and charter fees. But we pretty much beat that one to death.
Or franchise fees.
They are franchise fees. Yep, that. I stand corrected. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Right. Now, next thing, they had an Addison Township logo contest. It seems like they've never had a village logo or a township logo established. Really? Never. So they put this thing together, the contest, for local kids that might participate.
Just kids?
Well, at this, yeah, it was school kids that were allowed to get involved in this particular one in terms of the rules. And they had an awful lot of replies to this, you know, different designs, different colored designs, that kind of thing. And so they reviewed each and every design at this particular meeting, the board did. And they came up with, when it was all said and done, 2 finalists in this. And the number 1 finalist was Trevor Potts. and he won $200
All right.
by doing this. Yeah, that's great. So, you
So it
folks,
was his logo that was going to be accepted?
well, at this point, there's more to it than that. And I'm glad you brought that up.
Glad, Paul Harvey. The rest of
Right.
the story.
Right, the rest of the story is just coming up. Second position for this was Colin Warren. So now, you folks out there know that those two have collected rewards or awards. $200 first prize, $50 second prize.
Okay.
So guess who's buying lunch? No. We'll say David Kinney just for the heck of it, but
Thank you very
anyhow,
much.
right. So anyway, so they had quite a discussion about these designs, and the thought was, well, maybe, you know, some like the color, some like the design, some like changes, excuse me, that might be made to the design. So
Do they have a motto?
well, they don't at this time, but
They're going to have a contest for the motto too?
well, that may be part of the
logo.
logo.
Motto.
And they have a set of regulations,
Sounds like
rules.
a cell phone. Moto.
Moto. Wait, forget that stuff. But anyway, they're going to allow everybody, including employees now, to do the same thing, to put together designs and enter them, submit them to the township as far as ideas.
Did they come up with a suggestive, like a list that kind of gives people an idea of where they're trying to go, or is it
Well-
completely freeform?
Eric Sense said, you know, there's lots of things going on in Addison Township. For example, it's nowadays a beautiful area to live in with the trees and all the shrubberies and everything that they have going, but he said it's a good place for hunting, fishing, all of the above. And as far as family get-togethers, you know, and community get-togethers, a great community to live in, and that should be depicted somehow within the logo, or, you know, as you said, the theme for the village, or
Right.
for the township. So anyways, points are well taken. So those are hints of what, you know, the board is looking for. So you folks that do decide to go into this as far as a creative issue, you kind of got an idea of what the drift is, as you would say, the drift.
Basically, it ain't over yet.
Right, it's not over yet. Won't be probably for a little while. Public, let me see, no public, no comment, okay? Board reports, none. Legal issue, there was one individual that complained about the speed for Oakwood Road. And that's been an ongoing issue.
You left that kind of hanging there for a bit. I wasn't sure what you were going to talk about.
Right. For speed. Yeah, we've been talking about marijuana a lot. So that's probably what he's thinking about. So anyway, no, she said, you know, the speed is ridiculous. And by the way, all gravel roads are set
Default to 55, don't
55 miles an hour, all of them. And like Bruce Pearson said, you don't want to go down Oakwood Road at 55 miles an hour. You just keep right on going. It's not a good thing.
I think they call that drifting.
Right. But he did, Bruce, who used to be a police officer, of course, he said that the state police have the final say in this, and they have to do a investigation, you know, of the speed limit and so forth.
Well, the trick
and
is,
make
unless it's
recommendations.
posted, it's 55.
It is 55, right. You're right, absolutely. Okay. Let me write this day down. Okay. Okay, we got it, folks. Okay, so they're trying to change it, and so we have to see. They are going to do an analysis to see if it's deserving to change. However, if they were to go with a private investigation of this, it costs a tremendous amount of money.
Yeah,
the
but
township doesn't want to do that.
I'm sure. And to justify a lower speed limit sometimes requires an analysis of residential density, doesn't it?
It does. And even though the township, Addison, is growing, I'm not at all sure, you know, what the population is down Oakwood. And
No.
so we'll have to see, or even the other gravel roads. What's amazing to me is that there are gravel roads in this area. I mean, where I came from in Bay County, everything is paved.
Of course it is. You got all our money up there.
No, you should have all the money here. We should.
Oakland County, Macomb, and what is it, Wayne, probably generate most of the road taxes in Michigan, but we don't get it all. It goes to Bay City.
Oh, no. That, folks, I'll have to designate that was a rumor. Very strongly put. Okay.
A strong rumor.
It would be. But I understand.
That's a big issue in the state, by the way.
Yeah, but I've been talking to a number of residents here who live in gravel roads. They enjoy the gravel roads. They don't want it to change. They don't want paved roads. Because they have a certain amount of serenity, I guess, and country feeling that, gravel roads. Myself.
Especially in the spring when you get those tank traps in the road.
Right. And I always say, talk to the car. You have to replace about every 2 years, roughly. But anyway.
We're going for a carnival ride. Just get in the car, boy.
Let's go for it. Okay. Well, now let's talk about the Polygon Trail Council, which was held on, October 16th. And the people on this board are Curtis Wright, who's the chair, Mike McDonald, who's the vice chair. Elgin Nichols serves on that committee as well, or council. Donnie Steele is the treasurer. She's from Orion Township, and she's the treasurer there. Bruce Pearson, who was the supervisor, of course, of Addison Township. Eric Sent, who serves as a member of that board as well, trustee.
He's everywhere.
He is everywhere. And Kevin Green is the citizen rep, and he checks out the trails quite often.
Okay.
If he gives the feedback where he thinks there should be adjustments or changes, or even in positive sense that where people say they like the trail and this is why they like
And for
it.
those of you who don't know where the Polygon Trail is, just go down 24 and where you see that bridge crossing in the village of Oxford, that's the Polygon Trail.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yep, and that's been there for a number of years.
Yep.
And that was quite a process to get that bridge, by the way, a number of years back. You probably recall that
Yep.
because you used to live in this area.
Larry Obrick was a big shaker and mover for the whole
The
thing.
bridge is named after him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's quite a nice guy and gentleman and very good activist, for the.
He really shook
for
the money
township
tree and got
village.
things started, I'll tell you.
He did. Yep. Aaron Watley also serves on this board, but he was absent in this particular meeting, and he is the executive director for the Parks and Rec over in Orion Township. Nice guy, really sharp guy. He knows what he's doing over there. Okay, other people in the audience, of course, were Joe Medor, who's the manager of the village, Oxford Village, and Lori was the OCTV camera person. So, approval of the agenda, motion was made immediately and approved. Consent agenda, which consisted of approval of September 18th minutes, treasurer's report, which received and filed, and the Polygon Trail event request, which was a not so spooky night with bats, and that would be the Polygon Trail thing that they had.
With bats?
With bats, yep. I mean, not in the belfry, but
Not in the baseball?
not in the baseball. They would be bats, flying bats on the trail. So you see them duck. Okay, so it should be an interesting thing. They're gonna have cider and things like that and donuts. So.
Wasn't there a symphony or something? Der Fledermaus?
Oh,
Was it about bats?
I think you wrote that, didn't you?
Yeah, sure I did.
Anyhow, you recall how it goes?
No.
Okay. You know what's coming next, don't you?
What's that?
Can you hum up a few bars?
Yeah, right.
Okay, we'll skip that one then. All right.
Would you prefer the oboe or the flute?
I'd rather be highfalutin.
All right.
Okay. Treasurer's report, approval of the bills for $2,332 roughly for September 2019 was approved. Received and filed financial reports for September. And that was all approved. So we went through this rather quickly, didn't we, huh? Okay, so we go to page 2, and we're talking about citizens representative report. Actually, Kevin Green informed council that the trail manager, Linda Moran, was a featured story in the September issue of the Lakefront magazine. So if folks get a chance, check it out.
That's a state of Michigan's wide magazine?
That's right. And you can find it on the internet also.
Oh, good for her.
Yep. And very nice story about her. And it should be. I mean, she's a hard worker, and she does a lot of great things for Oxford and the surrounding area, Lake Orion, and also Addison Township. Okay, trail manager report, and that's quite extensive, so we won't have time to talk about it here, but if you want to see more, you'll be able to go to occtv.org and
Go to that little drop-down menu, click on PA MTC or something like that.
I saw it. I went
It's
by.
an abbreviation for Polygon Trail.
Right.
But you'll see all the meetings there.
Yep, and you'll catch her report as to what she's doing by the month. Okay, new business, purchased new signs, and they needed signs for the trail for $370. It was approved immediately. And you don't want you folks to get lost out there. You got to have signs, right? Okay.
Saves on breadcrumbs.
It does, yep. And a letter of appreciation also was recommended by Donnie Steele for a couple of gentlemen that have been working on the trail, and also the Rotary Club for their support.
For volunteer work.
For volunteer work, yep. Unfinished business, Indian Trail Bridge repairs. If you recall, there were rails that were damaged, you know, by vandalism, that kind of thing. Painted and you know, just disruptive of the materials. The manager is asking for materials and some support in the labor for $1,080. And that was approved also after discussion. Okay? That's a shame, because, you know, people that destroy property from the trail or any other, you know, organization, I mean, it costs the community, it costs you folks out there.
Well, you're always going to have ne'er-do-wells.
That's right. Yeah. So anyway, fortunately enough, there's enough people that do volunteer for this as well. But Linda Moran needed the money for the materials,
Right.
mainly, and she does a lot of, you know, work out there that she doesn't get paid for.
And repairing stuff that was in pretty good condition because someone messed it up. There's a real wheel spinner.
Well, if you see
Diverts you from
Linda
doing
Moran,
more
she's
other-
zipping up and down these trails in her gator. She's got a green gator. Ooh. And so if you see her coming, you know, be sure to thank her.
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Yeah, she's been notorious for, you know, heavy foot. But anyway, that would be a rumor also, wouldn't it? Okay, speaking of rumors, we'll tell you more about that when we come back right after this. Don't go away. Welcome back to Minutes by Minute. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kennedy.
And we are having quite a discussion here about what went on at the Polygon Trail meeting last week. The last thing that they did discuss was the Leonard Restroom repairs update. And two people kind of dug in there to make that a possibility. Now, their restroom was a mess, about to fall down. And this is
Did
in
it have a
Leonard.
little moon on the door? No, it wasn't one of those.
No, but you were able to get mooned quite easily.
Oh, wow.
You know, so if it weren't for Bruce Pearson and Mike McDonald, who joined together and to put this together, and been using their ability and knowledge and materials and tools that they have, did a complete job on this thing. They put new vinyl siding on it, repaired areas of the building which were actually falling off.
Is this a building with plumbing or
No.
something else?
It's something else.
Something else, okay. Enough said.
Right. So anyway, thanks to these two guys, which took about 2 weeks, which Bruce Pearson said if we were in construction business, we probably would have been fired because it's longer than what it should have taken probably, but they do have other jobs, as we know. But they did a great job on it. If you're over in Leonard and you have to go, check it out.
Did they put a moon on the door?
I don't know. I don't know if they did that. I don't think they did.
No, probably not.
Actually, they're going to put a solar light out there too, so for lighting. So apparently there's no
Gets dark
electricity.
inside. You could actually just put a skylight in there.
They could, except at night it wouldn't work too well. Okay.
That is solar.
Well, solar does charge up to a battery, so you still have your light.
If you got a battery,
Well, yeah, they all have batteries. Solar lights do.
they do.
They do. They really do. Okay. He wants to change the rumor here that now solar lights, they don't have batteries. They don't have a way to
I'm
charge.
sure there's various designs that work that way.
All of them. Okay. We're going to have a later discussion on this, folks. You might want to get in on it if you want to see it. But
Or have little light sticks that you break when you go in.
yeah, right. Or you just take a bunch of fireflies with you.
Well, you get your
Just
exercise
throw them
with that
against
one, I guess.
throw them against the wall and they light up. Ooh. Can't do that. We'll spread a rumor. Now we'll be getting letters, won't we? Okay. Public comment, they had no public making comments, so that pretty much took care of that for the Polygon Trail.
We're rolling on.
Yep, rolling on. We're talking about the Oxford Village DDA meeting, and it's a short one. So
That stands for?
Downtown Development Authority,
Yes, it does.
and Nicole Ellsworth is the chairperson for this group, and Dorothy Johnston serves on the board. Sue Oles, yes, you want to say something? What?
The chairperson? Or the
No,
executive
she's the vice
director?
chair. No, she's the chair.
Oh,
Nicole.
oh, okay. I was thinking of someone else. Okay.
Oh, I know you were. That's why you were so confused.
I always
Are you
am.
unconfused now? Can I go on?
Head for the straight and narrow.
Okay. Sue Oles serves on this, and she's the treasurer. Elgin Nichols is on the board, secretary, and Pete Schultz, who is fire chief, serves on the board also, and Joe Frost, who is also the president of the Village Council. Village Council, yep. Rod Charles, he serves on the board also, businessman. Everybody knows Rod. He was in charge of Lone Ranger Parade and all kinds of things.
And days past.
Yep, and days past. Pledge of Allegiance, public, no public to speak. Consent agenda was approved immediately. September 16th minutes were approved. Look how quick we're going through this, and it's a good thing too, huh? Okay, bills for the amount of $20,636, roughly, in that neighborhood. And old business, M24 update. That's pretty much what they did discuss the remainder of the meeting. The right-of-way issues, there are property owners that want to have the side of the road paved more than what was set up for the MDOT. So that's going to cost the village more money if they do that.
The side of the road
Yeah, the curbing area.
paved.
Yeah,
Does that mean increasing the width of the road?
it does, in a sense.
But part of the original design was to reduce the width of the road to slow the traffic down.
That would be it.
So they're going against it.
Well, we don't know what's going to happen here because they won't give the right-of-way unless they move forward, the village. In other words, they're holding them hostage.
Well, you know what they say?
What?
Tick tock, tick tock.
Right.
Time is wasting here, folks.
It is wasted. And they're going to have to make this decision soon. And by the way, want to let you folks know too, and they brought this up, that M24 actually, the northbound lane is going to be closed for a period of time, probably for about 30 days roughly, because they are probing
What lies
for
beneath?
electrical, yeah, they're looking for electrical work that needs to be done, utilities underground. So they have to have these probes out to check it. And there's what they call a...
In medical terminology, they call that an exploratory operation.
Right, yeah, they do that, yeah. And they have what they call a load box or area underneath this concrete. And they have to locate that. That's where workers get in to make patches to electrical and that kind of thing.
Oh.
You know.
So it's like
You
a
didn't know
manhole
they were
cover.
underground, did you?
Is that
It's
a
a
manhole?
vault. It's
Is that
called a vault.
But is that a manhole type cover or something else?
No.
You have to dig down to it.
No, it might be a manhole cover to get into it, but it's called a vault.
Okay.
And it's a concrete vault, and everything, I guess, terminates in that area. And
Kind of like a big junction block.
it is, and there's room enough for people to go down there and work.
Okay.
So, but that has to be found, marked off, and
Assuming they have one.
right, they have one.
Do they?
They have two of them actually.
And they don't know where it is?
Oh, well, yeah, they have lost it. They got ran out of the street.
We have to probe for this thing.
Right. Best way to do it, I think, is torpedoes. That was my choice. Maybe not. What's coming up? Speaking of torpedoes.
Oh, not much. On 11/4 in November, at 7 o'clock, the Oxford Township Zoning Board of Appeals. Check on that one, because often the Zoning Board of Appeals doesn't have anything to talk about. And on 11/5, at 7 o'clock, the Village of Oxford Planning Commission. And that's all I got.
No, that was Oxford Township, wasn't it? Zoning Board
What?
of Appeals?
Oxford Township ZBA.
Yeah, okay. They usually have one, but, you know, who knows, huh?
Who knows?
Until then, I'm Elgin Nichols.
And until then, I'm Dave Kenny. Could be someone different next time.
Catch us next time right here on Minutes by Minute.